This is Scott Greenya from Fairfax, Vermont, also known as Scotty BBQ, and you're listening to the BBQ Central Show.
Start the game! Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh, should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Good evening and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. It is a show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. Where do we do it from? Why? None other than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. Dare I say the barbecue capital of the North Coast? I will dare to say it because I know it is. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday or in your podcast leisure. If you want to jump in live tonight, more than happy to have you. A phone call is such, 216-220-0966. If you would prefer to join me through email, this is how you do that.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at bbqcentralshow.com. Or on the Twitter and Instagrams at BBQ Central Show.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com, which includes video replays and audio replays of this show and also how to subscribe to the podcast. Here's what's coming up in case you didn't get the newsletter in about 12 minutes from now, maybe 13. It is the second Tuesday of the month. As I said last week, 2018 is rapidly coming to a close. And the creator of the most heavily trafficked barbecue and grilling website will join me to talk turkey, because the next 2 weeks of shows certainly will be laden with Thanksgiving talk. We do it this time each and every year because we're constantly getting an influx of new listeners. The beginners are now stepping up into the intermediate areas. The intermediates are now stepping up into the expert areas. The experts are now attaining pitmaster-like status, but we all get a little nervous. We all get a little tepid when it comes to the turkey stuff, so we have two experts to come on and help you this week. Next week, we have internet and social media celebrities to give their takes as well. So coming up in about 12 minutes from now, none other than Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. You know him, you love him. He loves to answer questions. He's all about helping his audience and my audience be more proficient and efficient live fire cookers in every regard. He will be in his normal 1-hour segment, so 9:14, 9:35. Then we'll move to the second hour. By the way, Meathead Goldwyn, newly inducted into the Barbecue Central Show Guest Hall of Fame under the recurring moniker. My guest in the second hour, while he may or may not know it, is also newly inducted into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame under the semi-recurring moniker. Embedded correspondents, please take note as we begin voting for 2019's induction class. We're going to do away with the categories. We're just going to pick like 3 or 5 people that we like, we will debate, and then we'll end up putting those people in that we feel fit. If we need to renominate some extra ones, something along these lines, we'll do that. But we're going to do away with the categories right off the bat. I want to fall into the same trap that the Barbecue Hall of Fame in Kansas got into. We will be doing away with the categories. John, if you're listening, please make note so we all can talk about this, you and the ECs and myself. But I digress. Talking turkey, talking not tacos, talking about, if you watched his Halloween video with a butter poached steak You would know him as Sam the Cooking Guy, a.k.a. in real life Sam Zion. But he did it as Paula Deen, a butter poached steak and Hasselback potato. I think that was a Hasselback potato. Full Paula Deen garb. I have pictures. We will get to that in the second hour as well. We will also possibly do side by side, so you can really see how much he did or did not look like Paula Deen, but Sam the Cooking Guy in for the second hour. So there you go. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Please, if you're not already, follow me on the social media platforms. Instagram, I'm pretty active on at BBQ Central Show. Also on the Twitter at BBQ Central Show. Facebook has this feed, live video, also a bunch of different breaking news announcements or fun facts or things that I just want to share. So if you're on Facebook, give me a / then BBQ Central Show, and then follow me. Under the news thing, hit show first, and that way if I update something new, it will show right up in your news feed right on top, and that's the way we want it. Breaking news for you, from me to you. All right, let me roll through these special mentions. First and foremost, let me recognize a Pitmaster Championship Award winning, a hugely successful barbecue restaurateur in the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. He's been on this show a number of times. We actually tracked his opening of his very first GQ barbecue restaurant from concept to a few months in to a few years in. Now he's doing gangbusters, of course. Recently voted in to the Rocky Mountain Barbecue Association Hall of Fame. I do want to recognize new Hall of Famer to RMBBQA and friend of show, pitmaster of GQ Barbecue and owner of the same restaurant name, Jason Ganal. Congratulations, Jason. Well earned. How's that ice cream place coming? Let's catch up. Let's do that sooner than later. Also, podcast programming note. If you didn't know, because you don't follow me anywhere on social media, or you don't visit my website day to day, which you should, just in case, the Michael Simon interview is in the feed. Released this morning. So if you've been off your phone all day, or you're just getting into social media, or a combination of both, it is there ready for you to check out at your leisure. Again, this was released as bonus content into the feed. So if you noticed your phone had something new for me today, and you don't normally get something for me on Tuesdays, except a live show from 9 to 11, but this was here to greet you in the morning with a sunny, how you do? Check it out. I am interested to hear your feedback on this specific bonus content. This is something that I had been chasing literally for years through social media. The longest running joke of the show, as my friend John Dawson had said in communications off air this afternoon, the longest running inside joke was me getting Michael Simon on the show, how I couldn't leverage Doug Tratner, his writer, Michael Simon's writer, to get me Michael Simon on the show. Instead, through the use of Twitter and through just a pass-through from my Pittsburgh brother, Doug Durda, away we had it. In 48 hours or less, we went from scheduling something to last Tuesday, me sitting down with Michael Simon in person, right at Mabel's Barbecue, and laying it down. So I thought the interview ended up being really well put together. I added a front and a back to it, so it's in full form in the podcast feed. Check it out. Some feedback from that interview, email from Mark Castle. Excellent interview with Michael Simon. Sounded like you were old friends getting caught up. Thanks for your efforts in pulling this one off, Mark. Also, text message from neighbor Desmond. My guy, I truly enjoyed and appreciated your interview with my G, M. Simon. Great job, Desi. Again, neighbor Desmond, for your listening pleasure. Also, just a comment that I grabbed from the Instagrams from the Backyard BBQ Chef. I just finished listening to your podcast with Chef Simon, and man, was it a great one. I think we all fall into the habit of seeing celebrity chefs on TV and forgetting that before they got where they are, they paid their dues, worked their asses off. It was great hearing his journey and seeing him pull back the curtain a bit for the fans. Now I want to take a road trip to Cleveland and visit his barbecue restaurant. Well, the Backyard BBQ Chef, if you make it to Cleveland, I will come with you to Mabel's. I might even buy. Every time Daniel Vaughn comes to town, it seems I'm the one that's buying. Right, Daniel?
Get that free stuff out of here.
Jeez. Big famous guy like him having the local guy buy. How about that? So that's just a smattering of initial reaction to the Michael Simon interview. If you like it, if you're on Twitter or if you're on Instagram and you are replying back to one of the 2 posts that ended up going up today, make sure you tag him and tell him that you like the interview. That will perhaps heighten the chance that I will get another interview in the future. A lot of people were asking for me to post the picture of Michael Simon and myself. You know what? I'm not that guy. I don't think, here's somebody famous, let me first get a picture. That's never on the top of my mind. So I never asked him for a picture. I didn't even think about it until today. Somebody was like, post a picture. I think it was Steve from Tennessee. Post the picture. I don't have a picture. I never asked. Didn't even think about it. Now, if I meet somebody like Howard Stearns, yo, how? I might ask for a picture. All right, Meathead coming up out of the break. Let me talk to you quickly about the Barbecue Guru. You know, they've always believed that outdoor cooking should be easy. You know why? Because it can be, especially with the Monolith Barbecue Guru Edition grill. The Monolith is the world's first temperature-controlled smoker with a built-in power draft fan. This means smarter control and greater freedom with automatic temperature control. Easily choose your cooking time and temperature. Let the Monolith do the work of a sous chef or a barbecue pitmaster. With minimal effort, you now have oven-like precision at the grill. You can serve the tastiest, juiciest meals each and every time. And here's the kicker. If you have been a longtime fan of the Barbecue Guru, if you have a controller and you're wondering, do I need to buy a new controller if I buy this Monolith? The answer simply is no. All you have to do is take the controller, run it down to the fan, already built in there. You're off and running. Now, if you want to upgrade the tech or you've been looking to get a new brain on that, certainly your prerogative. You go to the website, bbqguru.com, or you call them 800-288-GURU. That's 800-288-GURU. If you have any questions, make sure you make sure you ask them. They will answer. Nobody wants a customer with buyer's remorse. They want to answer all of your questions fully, so you're up and running right out of the box. Again, the website, bbqguru.com, or call 800-288-GURU. Check out the Monolith. With all of the other Kamado-style cookers out there right now, I don't know if there's a name brand out there that comes not only with a great, decent-sized cooker with a nest and shelves, but a lot of other accessories, well, a lot of feature, a lot of value add. Plus, longest running sponsor of the show, right? Help them out. All right, we're back with Meathead, Turkey Talk, amongst some other things. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
This portion of the show being brought to you by Butcher Barbecue, makers of award-winning injections, marinades, rubs, seasonings, barbecue sauces, grilling oils. All of Butcher Barbecue products have been tested not only on the competition circuit, but in the backyards worldwide to a fanfare of success. Be the pitmaster of your neighborhood. And visit the website to stock up, butcherbbq.com. That's butcherbbq.com. Always trust your butcher. All right, joining me now in his normal second Tuesday of the month spot, the creator of the most heavily trafficked barbecue and grilling website on the face of the earth, none other than my buddy and everybody's buddy, Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. Meathead, how are you?
I'm great. Greg, how's the Centralites today?
Everybody is doing great. We are rocking and rolling as we are heading ever so feverishly to 2018 Thanksgiving, if you can believe we have another one on the docket. Do I have a different camera angle from you this time?
Yeah,
I'm down to the right.
Fix that.
Yeah.
Skype has picked the wrong camera.
Oh, it's always Skype. Believe me, nobody knows the trials and tribulations of Skype more than me. So before we get into Turkey Talk, Meathead, and as you are getting through your technical hurdles, let's talk a little bit about book business and updates, so we can
you're gonna go there,
kind of get those.
Okay.
You know, you're in the process of writing the second book, following up on that huge success of Meathead, The Science of Great Barbecue and Grilling, which is just niftily off your back right shoulder there. Where is the project right now?
By the way, I just got, this dovetails in. I just got the royalty statement for sales up through June. Now, here it is, November.
Yes.
Book publishing industry is so arcane, so aggravating. They pay royalties twice a year, and they pay in October, in theory. I didn't get my check till November. And they pay through June. Now, this is 2018.
Yes.
You would think that they could pay you every month. Computers, I presume they got computers at big publishing houses.
I hope.
And basically, they ask the author to bankroll their business. I mean, they're on the float. 6 months of book sales between June and now. Not quite 6 months, 5 months, but right through the summer season, my busy season. And they're pocketing all the royalties. Plus, these little sons of guns. Now the book sold 150,000 copies.
Wow.
They are holding $38,000 in royalties in case bookstores return the book. Now the book is still clipping along nicely, and it's going to clip along for years. It's it's an evergreen book. It's going to sell well. They're not going to be returns, and there's certainly not going to be many of them. But they're going to hold, again, I'm bankrolling them, 38 grand in my royalties. They're holding in case somebody returns the books.
Real.
So it's really an aggravating. The industry hasn't progressed since Dickens' time. And it's really frustrating because every other industry has been altered by the internet. I mean, starting with retail book sales. Amazon destroyed the retail book sales model, but the publishing model remains relatively untouched. And it's time for somebody to kick them in the butt. And I'm going to do my little bit. We have decided that we are no longer going to work with Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Now, that's a pretty big publisher, one of the big ones. They published the book last time. They did a nice job, although they never knocked on the doors of any of the hardware stores or the places. They did. Nowadays, if you want to publish a book, the very first question they ask you is, do you have a platform? Which is code for, can you sell the book for us? Now, AmazingRibs.com is clearly a platform.
Sure.
Averaged 3 million page views a month last year. We got 16,000 members of our Pitmaster Club,
right.
125,000 subscribers on Facebook and newsletters. So we have a mechanism to sell the book. They love that. If you're brilliant and you know a subject top to bottom, but you don't have a platform, they're not answering the door when you knock.
Yes, but it's not your responsibility, Meathead, to market the book. If they're charging you to write a reference, you shouldn't have to also be Meathead director of sales. You have to be Meathead the author.
That's the way it works now. I make around $3 a copy. They sell it for $35.
Yes.
It costs them about $5 to print it.
And how many copies have sold so far?
150.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get out my
Do
calculator.
the math.
Quick,
Okay, well, all right. Let's
here we go. Here we go.
Of the numbers.
Just a round number. I have the number right here.
To print it, and they pay me $3.
Yes.
And then let's give them another couple of bucks or $3 for overhead and shipping. So let's at most say it's costing them $15.
All right.
They're wholesaling it. They're retailing it for $35. Wholesale is 40% off of that. There's a big markup on this thing. And so what we have decided to do is we're going to self-publish.
Really?
Yes. The publishing, and it used to be called Vanity Press. Somebody who wanted to publish a book. And usually Vanity Press was guys who wrote poetry or, daddy bloggers who wrote about barbecue,
right?
Who wanted to be famous, but they couldn't get in the door. They don't have a platform. The publisher's not going to...
Right.
Well,
look, I mean, here's the thing, right? I mean, you are leading up to it. And one of my follow-up questions, as you mentioned that you were going to be self-publishing, isn't there some kind of a stigma attached to self-publishing? Like, I really can't get a real book deal. I mean, obviously you can. You had one and you've decided to opt out. But, I mean, do you worry that there isn't going to be that big of an exposure? Or do you specifically credit the success of the first book to the vehicle that is Meathead and has nothing to do really with the publisher?
No, it was both. I mean, Hope Mifflin did a good job.
What percentage was you and what percentage was the publisher? Were you 70%? Were you 80%?
We hired a great public relations agent, but they made me split the price, 50-50. Their sales team, as near as I can tell, never called on a single hardware store. So I don't know. I know that Amazon sold 55,000 copies.
Yeah.
So how much of that was Houghton Mifflin's work? I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm going to gut it out. I'm going to go my own. And if anybody says, well, what's the matter? Couldn't you get a publishing deal? I will be able to say it was a New York Times bestseller. The last book sold 150. We're going on our own. We're going to help break the publishing model. I'm just sick and tired of it. Plus, there's all this creative stuff like, we have a name. We have a concept. I'm writing a book with a concept. The name of the book is called The Meathead Method, Barbecue Science Meets Art. Now, I happen to have a master's degree in art, and I really want to take the science that we built the last book on and merge it with the concepts of what is art. I want to talk about culinary art. I want people to come outside of the regular brisket and ribs and pulled pork, and we have some really fascinating recipes, some fun recipes with some interesting ingredients that are not normally part of the barbecue world. I also want to talk about art like we did about science, and I want to break some new ground. And I was running into some pushback from the editors. So, and I don't know if you've seen, but I'm really doing I've really upped my photography game. Yes. All the photographs in the last book, 400 photographs in the last book, were mine. I'd grade them C+. I'm doing B+ photography now. There's some gorgeous photographs coming down the pike, and I'm doing it with a really unique photographic technique. And I just have a vision for the book, and I'm going to make it happen on my own.
All right. So, when you were with the publishing company, they were pretty heavy on the timelines and the deadlines and stuff. Now that you're self-publishing, can you extract yourself from Meathead's body and say, well, now that I'm self-publishing, timelines are out the window, and this book could take 15 years to get out? Are you worried about that?
No. I hope
I'm worried about it.
I'm now going through the process. I went to Houghton Mifflin about 3 weeks ago, and I said I'd like to break the contract. I mean, they had paid me in advance, and we had a contract, and we negotiated an out, and it was done in a gentlemanly fashion.
Were they surprised?
Pardon?
Were they surprised that you asked out?
it didn't seem like they were too surprised.
Yeah.
We were struggling philosophically, and they know that I understand the publishing business, and so whatever. So I'm working on a schedule now. I'm trying to get budgets. I'm trying to get bids from printers, and we'll see. We'll see.
All right, Meathead is self-publishing. That's what we have come to find out here right at the top of the show, the second book. So Thanksgiving is coming up here. It'll be a week from Thursday. I can't believe it. First things first, if we have the option, fresh bird always, correct?
No.
No?
Absolutely not.
Not fresh bird?
No.
Really?
No.
Why not?
Well, first of all, that fresh bird is not likely to be really fresh.
All right.
It just hasn't been frozen. So they've killed the bird maybe a month ago. And feathered it and everything and put it in a bag, and they've just kept it cold. I would rather have a bird that's killed.
It won't go bad?
Frozen fresh.
It won't go bad after a month of just being held and not frozen?
It can, yes. It can get funky. Fat can start going rancid. Bacteria, well, I mean, if it's kept cold, it's not going to be a bacteria problem. But fat can start changing. The flavors can change and alter. It's like fish. I mean, ideally, you want a really fresh piece of fish that was just caught today or yesterday.
Right.
But if you can't get that, getting one that is frozen fresh so that it's all captured fresh and then defrosted is next best. I think the same is true for turkey. Now, the other thing that's interesting is a turkey can be kept at 26 degrees and still be called fresh.
Oh.
Now, that's well below 32 freezing, and at 26 degrees, it's hard as a friggin' rock.
Right.
It's a bowling ball. But the industries have lobbied to make it clear that. So what happens is they label it fresh, they ship it to the grocer, and then he defrosts it, puts it on the shelf. It's soft and tender, and you think it's a fresh kill. I mean, look at turkey. 90% of the turkeys are purchased in the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
Of course.
I mean, turkey's wonderful all year round, but people just don't cook it for the 4th of July. They don't cook it for Valentine's Day. So these turkey slaughterhouses, they raise the turkeys and they start slaughtering, and they start running the slaughtering system as quickly as they can, weeks in advance. Most of them are frozen, but a lot of those fresh birds are not as fresh as you think. I would rather buy a fresh frozen bird.
All right, can you give me some type of a depth chart on if you have this big of a frozen bird, this is how many days in advance you need to get it into the thaw?
Yeah, there's some numbers on that. I've got a big article on turkey on AmazingRibs.com, as you might suspect. There's a link to it right on our homepage. Go to the homepage. It's called The Ultimate Turkey, and it's almost the size of a small book. It talks about all of this, how many pounds takes, how long it takes to defrost a 20-pound bird or 30-pound bird, whatever. Just rule of thumb, start your defrost over the weekend. It's a Thursday meal. Start defrosting Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the latest. Defrost it in the fridge. It should be fine by Thursday. I'm going to start defrosting mine on Friday. Then if it's thawed out by Wednesday, I'm okay.
When it's thawed, when you're starting the prep, a lot of people have that internal instinct to get the bird out of the paper, pull the guts out, not guts, but the jiglets and the neck and all that crap. And then they get it right underneath the sink and they open up that faucet and they give it a good bath or a rinse down.
You know about this, don't you?
I know you hate that. I know we've talked about it with chicken, of course, but same would apply to any type of poultry.
I don't hate it because it's really hard to resist rinsing meat after it comes out of the plastic, any meat. But the research people have proven, and it makes sense when you think about it, you take a turkey or a chicken or even a pork chop and you put it under the faucet and it gets hit with a solid stream of water. It's running pretty hard and it spatters. Now, most of that spatter is captured in the sink, but some of it is invisible. It aerosolizes. It's little tiny droplets, and it goes flying around the room. And right next to the sink is your dish drain, where you put clean dishes after you've washed them. But now they've got turkey spatter on them. We know that poultry is really susceptible to bacteria during the slaughter and processing process. Salmonella, most in particular. There's other bugs that get in there. And if you cook it properly, they're all dead. So there's no risk to poultry if you cook it properly. But if you undercook it, or if you spatter salmonella from the bird on your dish drain, and then you put clean dishes in it, now you're doing cross-contamination. So the scientists tell us, don't wash your bird. Just take it out, and even though it may feel a little slimy, just don't worry about it. Don't do it. It's really hard to resist. I know this rule, and if that bird's slimy, I'm going to still I can't resist. I'm going to rinse it. I'm just going to keep the pressure on the water down low.
But maybe reach for a roll of paper towel. Go to your big box store, your BJ's, your Sam's Club, and get a huge packet of paper towel, and then just unstring them and then put them all over. I mean, that's what. So I remember the first time you said, don't, whatever if you can possibly resist from rinsing, because I used to rinse chicken all the time. And then I said, well, what's the next best thing? Well, I'll take these paper towels, because when I pull a steak out of some type of a cryovac or a brisket or a pork butt, I don't rinse those for whatever reason. I'm drawn to rinse the chicken or the turkey, but I'm not drawn to rinse every other barbecue meat for whatever reason. It's like, why do people not eat horse, but they eat everything else on the farm? Same thing applies here with this. So I put
all your listeners eat horse by now.
Oh, well, illegally, of course. So I put the paper towels on, and I dab. I mean, you could do the same thing with turkey, right?
Why not? That sounds like a great solution.
Yeah. Meathead from AmazingRibs.com is joining us here. If somebody wanted to find that huge book-like turkey article, do they just search turkey, or how would they find it quickly?
You could go to AmazingRibs.com, search turkey, but we have a link to it right on the front page, on the home page, right near the top. Ask me what I'm eating.
Meathead, what are you eating?
I took a bunch of sweet peppers from the garden. This is a variety called Carmen. Long, slender shape, about 4 or 5 inches.
Sounds like a Carmen I know.
And I dried them in the smoker. But I didn't dry them all the way. They're like fruit leathers. They are so sweet. This is such unbelievable. I wish I could share this taste with you guys. It's like sweet red pepper, smoked sweet red pepper candy.
I've never heard of Carmen before.
It's a variety that my wife discovered. I think it's one of these heritage Italian varieties. But it's it's about 4 or 5 inches long. It's got a wide shoulder and a narrow point. And we use it a lot. It gets red in my garden here in Illinois, and it's really hard to get bell peppers red this far north. And it's not really thick, but it's not thin. It's a variety if you can find it. I really like it. I really recommend it. And if you dry it without smoking it, it makes really great paprika. You can grind it, or you can smoke it, and now you have smoked paprika. We use it a lot for a lot of different things. It's fun.
All right, we're talking with Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. We're going to go to our first break, and then we're going to talk about the rest of preparation. We'll be talking about rubs. We'll be talking about injections or wet brining, things of this nature, and also some side dishes like, for instance, stuffing, because everybody loves stuffing. It is Meathead Goldwyn from AmazingRibs.com. Let me quickly talk to you about Big Papa Smokers, the one-stop online shop for all things to fit your barbecue needs. Of course, we all know about their championship rubs and seasonings, popular flavors like Sweet Money, Cattle Prod, Cash Cow, all proven winners on the competition circuit and in the backyard. They offer 13 perfectly balanced flavors that transform ordinary meals into extraordinary. Looking to improve those competition recipes? How about Big Papa Smokers combining forces with Simply Marvelous Barbecue to offer that West Coast offense? Been doing very well in the competition scene. Of course, they do own that award-winning Granny's barbecue sauce as well. So if you're looking for a new go-to sauce that will please everyone, Granny's traditional yet powerful flavor reminds us why we fell in love with barbecue in the first place. You can find Granny's barbecue sauce and other top-rated sauces at BigPapaSmokers.com. And aside from the premium selection of rubs and sauces, they also offer the best pellet charcoal and wood cookers available on the market today. If you're looking for a versatile smoker that's easy to use, you check out that Mac 2-Star General Pellet Grill. Meathead actually uses the Mac 2-Star General Pellet Grill as well. Big Papa Smokers is the exclusive Mac dealer, and they even offer special packages. If you're not a fan of pellet smokers, that's fine. How about taking a look at the old history Ace BP? That's right. It's the only charcoal smoker that Big Papa trusts on his competition trailer. Now, if you're a backyard barbecue enthusiast like me and you're looking for something durable, versatile, that might last forever, the M Grill from Texas is just what you need. They're built like tanks. If you're not sure of what kind of grill you need, you really can't go wrong with anything that's offered at BigPapaSmokers.com. They have something for every kind of budget and backyard cook. It's clear that this is the place to go for all things barbecue. Every product featured on their website, hand-selected to help you barbecue better. If you have any questions, you can give them a call at 877-828-0727. That's 877-828-0727. Or shop the website, BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BIGPOPPA Smokers.com. More Meathead coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rampey.
Hey, speaking of pellets, the portion of this show is brought to you by CookinPellets.com, your number one source for quality wood pellets for all those pellet-driven cookers, Traegers and Green Mountain Grills and Cook Shacks, you name it. You can visit CookinPellets.com to purchase if you would prefer to purchase from the biggest online retailer. How about Amazon.com? They sell them as well. That's right. That's CookinPellets.com. Chris Becker and the gang out there looking for them before the end of the year. But we continue with Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. Meathead, I read an article in the New York Times. Times? Yeah. It said brining's out. You were actually a part of that article. You were amongst many other prominent names within that were giving wet brine the boot. So, for years and years, and ever since I got into barbecue, it was, man, you got chicken, you got turkey, got to brine it. They were making brining things. You had like a threads in this jug, and you spun the top down and submerged everything. They were profiting off of wet brining, but you're like, hey, let's get out of this shenanigans altogether. What gives?
Well, first of all, I'm just going to rewind for 30 seconds, and you're right. Yes, I do use a Mac 2-Star, and right. I got mine from Big Papa Smokers.
Really? Look at you.
Yeah. I mean, Sterling Ball, who owns the company, knows a lot about barbecue.
Yeah.
He's really a cool guy. You have him on the show occasionally.
Yes.
He is just a really impressive fellow and knows a lot. And that M grill or whatever, that's very, very cool. So, all right, back to
wet brining.
Kim Severson, who actually won a Pulitzer Prize at the New York Times for her reporting on the Me Too movement in the restaurant industry and how there are problems with chefs and others in the restaurant business who behave badly. She is a very fine food writer, and she called me up a couple of weeks ago to talk about brining. And if anybody has followed our website, we know that I gave up on wet brining years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it just became a pain in the butt. And I learned the science that salt will penetrate, but all the other stuff, the apple juice, the pepper, the garlic, the molecules are too large. They won't penetrate. They'll just settle on the skin. And if you cut open that turkey breast on Thanksgiving dinner, there is no flavor from any of that stuff deep inside the turkey breast. Maybe the tiniest bit on the surface. Now, you might think you're tasting it, but that's because it's on the surface and the knife blade pushes it down sometimes, or your teeth, but there's no garlic, salt, sugar, apple juice, or anything deep inside that bird.
Or because you're the one that put that stuff in there, you mentally want to taste it, so you think you're tasting it.
Yeah, you think you're tasting it.
Placebo.
What happens is the salt gets down in there, and the salt messes with the proteins, and it helps convince the protein to hang on to moisture. And that's very important. The other thing is salt amplifies flavor. It doesn't alter it as it amplifies it. So you get more turkey flavor, and you don't get more garlic-flavored turkey or whatever else you put on there. It amplifies the natural flavors of foods, and it helps keep the moisture in. So salting meat is really absolutely essential, and you don't need a lot. So I've been an advocate of what we called dry brining, and I don't know for sure, but I think I'm the one that coined the term dry brining. I didn't invent it. As near as I can tell, Judy Rogers from the Zuni Cafe in San Francisco was the first to really push it. And then Russ Parsons from the LA Times got behind it. Kenji Lopez-Alt and I did, and a bunch of others. And now there's a movement towards dry brining, which I'm pleased to say I've been with for some time. And yes, Kim quoted me at length in the article. And if you click here's a recipe, it's one of my recipes that she featured. So that was very cool. And as a result, I just got a call today from the Washington Post that wants to talk about the same
Jim
subject.
Shaheen? Does he want to interview you, Jim Shaheen?
No, this is someone else. This is Tamara Haspel, who writes about science for the Post.
Really?
And she's also a fine cook. So, but Jim's great. I know Jim very well, and he really knows barbecue well, and he's a good barbecue writer. So I think the trend of getting a 5-gallon beer cooler and filling it with 3 gallons of apple cider and 2 cups of salt and a bunch of sugar and a bottle of garlic and all that stuff hopefully is on its way out, because it doesn't work the way you think it works. It's like beer can chicken. It doesn't work the way you think it works.
Hey, did you hear my podcast with Michael Simon that I did?
No, I just heard you talking about it. I'm going to go back and listen. You finally cracked the Michael Simon wall.
Yeah, through the help of my Pittsburgh brother, Doug Durda, who was in the Pittsburgh International Airport and saw one of his properties in the terminal. He took a picture of it, tweeted it to both me and Michael Simon, and said, hey, Greg, here's your buddy's place or whatever. And I said, I think I like him more than he likes me. Well, then within a matter of minutes, Michael Simon is tweeting back at me, no, I like you. And then I tweeted back, hey, let's do this interview thing. And then he said, all right, come by November 6th at Mabel's. I'll be in town. We'll do the interview. Lo and behold, we did it.
Wow.
We did it in person, not even on the phone.
You.
I got to see him face to face.
Good for you.
Yeah.
He knows a lot about cooking.
Well, let me tell you something, Meathead, and this is the point of the thing. I don't want to get off track because we're swiftly losing time. I said to him in the lightning round, spatchcock or beer can, and he said beer can. Not even kidding. And I said, you know that's dangerous, right? And he said, well, I'm still here sitting across from you, aren't I? And I couldn't argue.
Well, it's not that dangerous. It just doesn't work the way you think it does.
Right.
The beer has nothing. Just that, you know, look at one of the problems that we have is that formally trained chefs are learning how to cook from other formally trained chefs, and they're learning with methods that have been handed down from generation to generation. The same way I learned to barbecue. I would learn from my dad, who learned from his dad, who learned from his dad. But there's this whole generation of cooks, like Kenji Lopez-Alt, like Christopher Kimball, like Russ Parsons. Our godfather is Harold McGee. Alton Brown is another one. All of whom actually stop and ask about why, not just how, but why. And we begin to realize that things don't operate the way everybody thinks they do. And beer can chicken is one of those, and wet brining is another. There's science that can prove why things work and why things don't.
All right, question from a friend of mine named Jason. He's a fan of the show. He wants to know best type of rub to use with turkey? Is it going to be more sweet? Should you go herb heavy because you might be using some smoke? What do you think is the best way to go?
I think it really very personal preference, but for me, poultry, I like herb based. I mean, your classic poultry season is an herb base. I have a formula that I posted on our website that's been very popular called Simon and Garfunkel, because it's got parsley and sage and rosemary and thyme and garlic and a few other good stuff in there. And it works really well on turkey and chicken. I've even done it on pork, on white meats. You might try that. And of course, don't forget salt. None of my rubs have salt in them because you want to control the salt separately from the spices. The spices sit on the surface. The salt goes deep. So you use them differently. You need more salt on a pork butt or a turkey than you do on a slab of ribs or a chicken. But for the surface area, you need the same amount of rub for all of them. So we apply salt separately. But I'm a fan of the herb-based rubs.
All right, let's talk about cooking a whole bird, as in not spatchcocking or not parting it out, versus spatchcocking or parting it out.
Cooking whole animals is always fraught with hazard, whether it's a whole chicken, a whole turkey, or a whole hog. Think about a whole hog for a moment. You've got the pork loin, which is best at about 140, 135. But you've got a pork shoulder that you need to bring up to a minimum of 190. 200, 203 is a target for a lot of us. Hams, which need to be heated way beyond a pork loin. Then there's a tenderloin. So if you cook a whole hog, you're either going to undercook the shoulders and hams or overcook the loins and the tenderloins and some of the other cuts. Same thing with a turkey. Your breast meat seems to be best, ideally at around 160. I mean, it actually is a little better at 155, but you're getting down into bacterial risk country. So 160 to 165, don't push it beyond because you can really go quickly from tender and juicy to cardboard. But dark meat, the thighs and the drumstick, tend to be best at 170 to 175. So if you cook the whole bird, it's really hard to control them. Ideally, you break the bird up. You quarter it so you have the breasts and then the legs, and you cook them at their own speed. You temp each section individually, and you pull them off at ideal temp. You can get closer with spatchcocking. With spatchcocking, or when you break them up, you do have the advantage of browning the interior. When you cook a whole bird, Norman Rockwell style, you have the cavity, which never browns. And brown is beautiful. Brown is the Maillard reaction. Brown is character, it's flavor.
Right.
And the whole interior never gets brown. If you spatchcock, you can brown the interior. And if you break it up into parts, you can brown the interior. It also cooks faster, and that means less moisture lost. So spatchcocking or quartering it is going to give you a better bird, but you always run into this, there's Aunt Martha who wants to see the whole turkey on the table. What I have done successfully, and you can try this, is I've spatchcocked the bird and then folded it back up and faked it to look like a whole turkey, made the presentation at the table, and then brought it back out. And by the way, it's a lot easier to carve a spatchcock bird than a whole bird.
Totally agree. Meathead, I would never accommodate somebody's visual want, ever. You come to my house, you're going to get that bird the way I cook it, or shut up and get out.
Well,
now,
visual is pretty.
Let's quit. I mean, I would contend or argue that a spatchcock bird is actually a better presentation than a whole bird.
It is cool.
A different argument for a different day. Stuffing or stuffing muffins, because I know you're a big stuffing muffins.
I think, again, I'm the one that coined the term stuffing muffins, but I didn't invent the concept. I think I popularized it. But you don't want to stuff the bird, because now you've made it into a big bowling ball. Mm-hmm. And by the time the heat penetrates all the way to the center, you've overcooked the exterior of the meat. It's dried out. So you want to do the spatchcock, or at least the whole vertebrae. But I mean, frankly, I think I prefer the stuffing many times to the bird. I mean, I can pack that stuffing away. A lot of people bake it in a baking pan or a baking dish, which is great. You get that nice crusty stuff on the top and the corners in particular. You get it nice and crunchy. If you use a muffin pan, you can make individual portions in a big muffin pan. Like you would make cupcakes.
Right.
You can make individual portions that are just about the right size, and you can butter the pan, and you can get a nice crispy dome, just like your
It's like a muffin top, yeah.
Yeah, and a muffin, and it really is great. It looks cool sitting on the plate. You got to use a slightly different formula. I have a recipe for. You need a little more egg in there to make it hold together, a couple other things. So I've got the formula for stuffing muffins on AmazingRibs.com.
Gravy in the drip pan.
Okay, this is another thing that I've been preaching for years. Never put a bird into a roasting pan.
Right.
They have these V-shaped racks, and you got this big, tall-sided roasting pan. And what happens is there's liquid down at the bottom of the pan, and that liquid never gets above 212. So no matter what the air temperature is in that oven or in your smoker, the meat down by the water in the roasting pan is never going to get above 250, 275. So you're cooking at 325, 350 up here, and down below it's 250, 275. And that's why the bottom of the bird is always tan and soggy. You want to lift the bird up, and this is why cooking turkey on a grill is absolutely the best way, because you put the meat right on the grill grate, and then under the grill grate, you put a pan, and that's your drip pan, and you catch all your drippings, and you prime that pan with, if you wish, a little chicken stock or some wine or some beer, and you throw carrots and celery and herbs and spices and onions and apples, and chop all that stuff up, throw it in that pan, and you now make an incredibly rich stock with the smoky drippings from the bird in there. You throw the wing tips in there. You throw the backbone if you've spatchcocked. You cut off the tail and the flaps of skin that are floating around, the neck. Everything except the liver goes in there. And you can make this wonderful stuff, and you end up with at least a quart of fantastic stock. You don't have to thicken it either. It's so rich, and it penetrates when it's liquid like this. You don't need to put flour in it. And you'll never use a whole quart, which means tomorrow you have this wonderful turkey soup, turkey stock, which I drink by the cup. I just throw it in the microwave, heat up, and drink it by the cup. It's delicious. Or you can use it as a base for your turkey pot pie.
Last question before I let you go this evening, just for a couple minutes. 325, not 225, is your temperature recommendation. Why is that? Just for
you
crispy?
Want crispy skin. Yeah. And it's hard to get crispy skin down. I know 225 seems to be what all us low and slow guys target as our temperature.
Right.
It's a great number for most low and slow. But if you want to get crispy skin, you got to jack her up to around 325, and you'll get crispy skin. And I know a lot of gas smokers don't get that high. So if you've got a gas smoker, crank it up to as high as you can get, 275, and then pull it off and throw it on your gas grill for just a few minutes and crisp that skin at a higher temp.
Yes or no, Meathead, would you fill the turkey cavity with onions and apples? Is that going to affect any flavors or give you any benefit? No.
It just doesn't put out enough flavor compounds. Mm-hmm. You want onion flavor, use onion powder in there. It's the New York Times, the lady who wrote the recipe, took a little liberty, and she put carrots and onion in there. I would never do that. Even though she called it my recipe, she took some liberty. She's inspired by me. It just blocks airflow. You can't get air inside. And that's the same as stuffing the bird. You don't want to do that. You want air to get in there.
If you have any questions, if you're looking for recipes, if you're looking for the science of anything that we've talked about here this evening, you head right over to AmazingRibs.com, do a simple search, and away you go. Info at your fingertips for as long as you can see. The second Tuesday of every month, you find Meathead from AmazingRibs.com right here. Meathead, I wish you and yours a proper and happy Thanksgiving, and we will look for you next month.
And here's to you and all the Centralites. Greg, I don't know how many years we've been doing this, but it's so much fun.
Thank you, Meathead. There he is.
Take care, everybody.
My friend and your friend, Meathead from AmazingRibs.com.
All guests appear via the Traeger
Hit the
Grills
website.
hotline.
If you have any questions about
Yummy.
what we've talked about this evening, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Hit the website, AmazingRibs.com. Hey, let me talk to you quickly about Green Mountain Grills. I was actually just on the phone with Jason Baker a couple days ago, wondering, where has he been? We need to get an update. What's going on with the cookers, all this stuff? Well, we got caught up off air, and we are quickly looking for an open date to get him back on. He was actually in China going over some QC, ensuring QC, also some other stuff that I can't talk about until he comes on. So we are in the process of picking a great date. In the meantime, if you're looking for a great pellet cooker to help you step up that pellet game, the Green Mountain Grill brand and models are the ones you want to take a look at. Jim Bowie, biggest one. I was just on Facebook the other day. Somebody was going back and forth between Daniel Boone and Jim Bowie. For $200 more, I said, hey, you're never going to regret spending the extra $200 and having the space. Even if you only use it 3 times, it's 3 times more that you could have used it than the Daniel Boone, because the Daniel Boone is physically smaller. It actually makes a less amount of food. Now, if you know you're only going to use Daniel Boone size and you're never going to need anything bigger, then save the $200 or use that $200 to buy the pizza oven insert. Now, if you are in the midst of tailgating or you're somebody that likes to travel all the time and you want something a little bit more portable and has that wood-fired pellet taste, the Davy Crockett is the one you're going to want to take a look at. Plus, if you don't have access to a traditional power outlet and you have that 12-volt in your car, all you have to do is stick that adapter in there and you're off and running. By the way, capacity is absolutely fantastic considering the portability. So you're not sacrificing capacity, if you will, because you're allowed to take it with you. And by the way, it fits in most trucks, vans, and SUVs. Or all trucks, vans, and SUVs, unless you're riding a smart car. Even then, I would probably make an argument it could fit in the back of a smart car. Here's what you do. You go to greenmountaingrills.com. That's greenmountaingrills.com. Check out what they have to offer, and then stay on the lookout as we look to schedule Jason Baker here on the Barbecue Central show sooner than later. All right, we'll come back to wrap the first hour. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. Be right back.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back, and thanks again to Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. Always enjoy the conversation with Meathead. Again, if you have any questions as it relates to any of the turkey stuff that we talked about, the recipe for stuffing muffins. I bet he's even got some type of a cranberry sauce. I see one of the 4 moderators over in the YouTube chat, Spinnaker's in there. Spinnaker, does he have a cranberry or a fresh cranberry remoulade available? Is remoulade right? By the way, I don't know if remoulade is the correct term, but you know what I mean. Cranberry sauce. Fresh cranberry sauce. That's what I want to know. For me, while I can appreciate a good fresh cranberry anything, when it comes to cranberries, I want that 12-ounce fruit can where you like, and it's like a tube of cranberry-colored cranberries, and it's got the can divots in it. That's real cranberry to me, buddy. That's when you know it's Thanksgiving. Cut you a nice round slice of cranberry. It's my favorite. That's my favorite. Well, I didn't get to do the lightning round with Meathead because, as always, we get lost in talk. Anyway, we're going to recharge here for the second hour, so I would ask that you get yourself a new libation, refresh as you are hoping. And when we come back, you have to look forward to the cooking guy, Sam Zion. We'll also recap the World Food Championship winners. Amongst some other things you want to call in, happy to have you at the top, 216-220-0966. Email, as always, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Stick around, be right back.
Chad Hayden with Moonshiners Barbecue's 19th annual Jack Daniels World Barbecue Champion, and this is Barbecue Central.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the Charbono, dude.
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 2 feet or wiener. Oh, listen, Liberty, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seed.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. Welcome aboard. You found it, folks. The Barbecue Central show. It happens every Tuesday. Right now, if you're hearing this show anywhere across YouTube, Facebook, TuneIn.com, the like, this is happening live. It is November 13th. It's 10 o'clock. It is 0200 Zulu, which Zulu time means it's the same time anywhere, depending on where you're. Doesn't matter what your time zone is, as long as you know where you fall into the daylight savings time. We just turned into +5. So it's actually, it's 0300 Zulu here. But no matter what, it's the same time everywhere in the world. How about that? Little aviation trivia for you. You needed that. Still to come on this show, Sam the Cooking Guy in about 12 minutes from now. Don't forget, you can follow me socially on Instagram at BBQ Central Show. Same handle on Twitter and also on Facebook /BBQ Central Show. Go ahead and give me a like. I do not monitor my personal Facebook page, as I talked about, I think, last week. I refuse to be held hostage. I mean, well, I don't refuse. Obviously, I fully accept being held hostage by Facebook. But I'm not accepting any friends or anything like that, so don't friend my personal page. Go over to the show page /BBQ Central Show. Give that a like. And then we can interact through there. Message me through there if you would like. You'll get an immediate response back saying it would be quicker to email me if you need a direct response in a timely fashion. But if you don't, at some point, I'll get there when I get back to the Facebook show page and get into those messages. But just so we're all up front on the same page, if you send me a personal friend request, I will not accept it.
Get that free stuff out of here.
You know, it's not that I don't like you or anything like that. It's just I'm not going to accept it because I don't personally believe in my personal Facebook page. Don't want it, but I have to have it to have the show page. John Dawson weighing in, the subject, turkey gravy tips. Remps, I don't like Meathead's approach to turkey dippings unless I'm oven roasting. My family doesn't like smoky gravy, so I make a stock as the base. To really amp up the turkey flavor, add a pound of 85-15 ground turkey for every gallon of water and a pack of fresh gizzards to the pot. Also, John Dawson weighing in with the subject line, cranberry barbecue sauce. Well, that's a recipe. I can't share that. I can't share that, John. If you are interested in a cranberry orange barbecue sauce for your bird, let me know, and I will forward John Dawson's cranberry orange barbecue sauce that you can put over your turkey. There you go. So I'll save that. I won't delete it. But if you're interested in that or giving it a whirl or just having it for your recipe arsenal, let me know. I will forward that over to you. Also, don't forget, I'm doing a weekly in-studio appearance on something called the John Cupo Show right here local to Cleveland, if you are familiar with the area, specific at this point to Lake County and some of the surrounding counties. I would say, 20-mile radius tops. So, I'm probably in 40 to 50 households at any given time, right? But we talk about general barbecue. I'm being brought in as the barbecue expert, if you can believe that. And we talk about a lot of beginner stuff at this point. We're trying to set the right framework, the right foundations, so we can start building into a little bit more of the intermediate and then the expert stuff down the line. But it's a little bit different. I'm not the host there. Obviously, it's the John Cupo Show versus the Barbecue Central Show, where I am the host here. So you get to listen to me as being a contributing member and or somebody that's getting asked a lot of questions versus me doing the question asking, which obviously I'm a little bit more comfortable asking the questions and leading a show than being a guest. But it's certainly a great change of pace. John runs a very entertaining show, especially when I'm on it. And his producer, Thomas Pope, is a joy as well. So if you are in town locally in that greater Lake County area, Geauga, some of Cuyahoga, you can get me on 101.5 FM or 1330 AM. They simulcast on either or if you're out of town or on the west side of Cleveland or anywhere in between, just hit up the internets, WINT, that's Whiskey, India, November, Tango, WINTradio.com, and then click on the on air or, whatever there is. Archives of my last 3 appearances. This coming Friday will make 1 month that I've been appearing on the John Cupo Show. So if you're down with that or you would like to hear me in a different capacity, giving expert opinion and thought and personality from a guest situation this time, then please give me a run. WINTradio.com is the website. Check them out. All right, World Food Championships, that's right, even though Mike McLeod told me to pound salt last week.
Get that free stuff out of here.
And I reached out right in the middle of the segment that he was supposed to show up for at 9:35 last week. Said, hey, Mike, remember how we're supposed to be in the middle of a segment? Shot him that email, and then overnight he had gotten back to me and said that he was in the middle of some previous champions conference or whatever ceremony they were having for people that won it. I'm like, who cares? You can't live in the past, Mike. You got to live in the now, which means get on the horn and make your commitments. You said you would be on the show. Get on the show. I want to be hearing about no damn previous winners. I don't care about that. I care about my show. Let's look forward. Let's keep moving forward. We don't want to look back. Let's cross that bridge. Let's light a match, and let's move on. Come on, Mike. Get with the program. In any event, the World Food Championships took place last week, ending at least with the final 10, Sunday, I think it was. 7 through the 11, I believe, were the dates that I had mentioned last week. So here they are in particular order, and by particular, I mean it's just the one I'm starting with. Your World Food Champion 2018 Bacon Champ, and somebody that is moving on to the final table, is a team Food Fanatics. Barbecue champ in the EAT methodology. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there were 2 rounds of barbecuing. There was an IBCA sanctioned event. And then there was also, well, I don't know if I'm going to recount this right. So maybe there was an IBCA sanctioned event first, and then the top 10 or whatever it was qualified out of that to go into the final day of barbecue, which then transformed from IBCA to EAT, which is the World Food Championships way of evaluating and ultimately picking a winner, the EAT methodology, which is execution, appearance, and taste, I think. Barbecue Wiesel won that. I believe they are foreign. I say that in a very generic way because I saw them posting on their Facebook, and it was not in English.
Get that big stuff out of here.
I'm going to guess they were European of some sort, so congratulations to Barbecue Wiesel. Burger Champ, hot, thick, and juicy. Chef Champ, the Salt Block. Dessert Champ, Double Down. Chili Champ, Down Home Cooking. Sandwich Champ, Sugar Fire. Seafood Champ, Pinch and Tails. Now, this is where I become a little in the dark because the last three seem like they are, well, the last one I know does not appear in the final table. The other two that I'm about to mention seem kind of a, I don't know, specialty or sponsored category, so I'm not sure if these guys make it into the final table or not, but the previous ones that I just mentioned, I know get in. The Boulder's Fiesta Seasoning and Compart Duroc Champ. None other than our very own Sylvie Curry from Lady of Q. Good job, Sylvie. The Culver Duck World Food 2018 champ is Mike Jane, or perhaps Janny or Janie. The Fire and Ice overall champ, which is all women pitmasters. Various ways to qualify that for your coup de grace event taking place at World Food Championships. The Fire and Ice. Tina Cannon from the Pit Crew. I believe Sylvie took 3rd or 4th place overall, so had a very good showing at World Food Championships. So those are your overall winners, and at least 10 of those go to the final table, if I'm not mistaken. Perhaps all of those except the Fire and Ice, or some version of that. I'll get further confirmation and follow back up with you next week, or drop something in an email, or I mean on my Facebook page, so that's why you want to follow me on Facebook/BBQ Central Show. Let me talk to you quickly about Cook Shack before we get to Sam the Cooking Guy. Cook Shack manufactures smoker ovens for barbecue lovers with any amount of experience. Whether you barbecue in the backyard or on the competition circuit or in a 5-star dining facility, Cook Shack has the unit that will do the job. And with a full line of barbecue sauces, spices, pellets, and wood chunks, the perfect one-stop shop it is. Cook Shack strives to be your barbecue resource center by offering cooking classes, online recipes, how-to videos, 2 blogs, smoke and grilling 101s, and a video cooking classroom. Get them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+. Get advice and share your passion for barbecue on their world-class barbecue forum. Cook Shack pellet-fired smokers, the choice of champions because they were designed by a champion. Ed Fast Eddie Moore and the FEC 100, PG 1000, always customer favorites. The PG 1000 could double as a smoker and a grill. Low and slow, hot and fast. The pellet grill line gives you the most for your money. Cook Shack residential electric smokers, the #1 smoker in the industry. High quality means high durability and versatility. Anything you can make in your oven, you can make in a Cook Shack. Passion and dedication drives Cook Shack's manufacturing, with quality always being at the forefront. Get the best in barbecue since 1962. Call 800-423-0698, or you can visit the website cookshack.com. All right, when we return, Sam the Cooking Guy. We'll talk not tacos. We'll talk definitely Thanksgiving. Trying to think of something smart to say, but couldn't muster. So anyway, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with Sam. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The only show giving you a monthly visit from a doctor of barbecue. A man actually named Meathead. The author of a barbecue Bible. Bloggers, reviewers, competitors, and manufacturers by the dozens. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Smithfield. If you are interested in becoming a Smithfield committed cook, all you have to do is head over to Smokin, S-M-O-K-I-N, smokinwithsmithfield.com and apply. It's $25 to cover shipping, but you get well over $200 worth of gear to include hats and trinkets and all this great stuff that helps you promote Smithfield while also offering you the opportunity to come back and report your first place prizes in pork ribs and pork shoulder. So head on over to smokinwithsmithfield.com. Again, first 500 spots open, and away you go. All right, my guest here in the second hour, a multiple-time author, multiple-time Emmy award-winning TV show host. You see him leading cooking classes from time to time. The list goes on, and tonight we'll be talking a lot about Thanksgiving stuff and some other items as well. Let's go ahead and race to the Traeger Grills hotline and welcome back friend of the show, Sam the Cooking Guy. Hey, Sam.
What's up, my friend?
I'm doing
why
very
can't I see you?
What are you talking about, Willis?
All I see is the logo, the Barbecue Central show.
Really?
I'm just saying what I see.
I don't,
why would I lie to you, my friend?
I don't know, but I mean, I can see you.
A
I
friend
can.
who I've never met. Well, I can see me too, and I want to see you.
Can you see me now?
No.
Are you
Hold
sure?
on.
Hold on. I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to turn my camera right back on. How about now? No? Oh, wait. I think I just screwed the whole thing there. Did I just screw the whole thing? Sorry.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Look. Well, now we're hung up. See? God. You know, the bottom line is this. I got to quit being so damn accommodating to my guests. I think that's what we've come to find out. Now I'm hung up in Skype. Oh, dear. Now I got to go to quit Skype. Of course, it's not going to quit. Let me make sure that everything else seems to be running. All right, finally quit. I hate to tell Sam that, you know, if you can't see me, you're going to have to muster through. Oh, here we go. Now I'm getting a new update from Skype. God, that's it. You know, people have been steadily working their way off the show, and they don't even know it. And Sam the Cooking Guy is the latest. I'll be in charge of the video and the audio, and I'm not falling for any more shenanigans going forward. I've had just about enough. Oh, crap.
What?
How about that? Is that
There
good?
you are.
All right. Now, hold on.
Now I see you.
How about this? So half of me
How
at
about
least?
this?
Half of me?
Yes. No, I got all of you.
All right.
buddy.
All right. Look, don't tell me how to run my show. Okay? I'm just so sick of it. They got
Wait,
Skype.
I have a question. Wait, I can't remember. Am I allowed to swear or am I not supposed to swear?
Oh, are we going to have that conversation? I mean, it's internet, so I mean, we could watch porn together, I guess, if we wanted to, but it's not that kind of a show. I don't typically go out of my way to swear, but I'm certainly not against swearing. I've sworn in front of you a number of times. I think the first time we ever met, we said fuckface like 50 times.
I do feel like there was some conversation after one of these shows.
Yeah, Meathead.
I was reprimanded.
Yes, Meathead was on just like tonight, many years ago. I mean, I think.
Go ahead.
Do you recall the date that we started going out together? Was it 2013? Maybe earlier than that. I mean, it's been a while now when we talked. I had forwarded you like the first segment we had ever done together. I forget why I was trying to search that out or how I came upon it, but Meathead was on after you. No, you were on.
And he complained about me?
You were on in the 9 o'clock hour. Meathead came on after you, and he's like, "Oh, I love that guy." Swore a lot, and I think I got like 3 or 4 other people saying why he swears so much and blah blah blah. And I'm like, hey, it's kind of charming in a way.
Well, you know, look, there are people that will say swearing is a lack of vocabulary,
right?
And I'm Canadian. I believe I speak the Queen's English. I think that I have a reasonable grasp of the English language.
Sure.
Perhaps better than many.
I would agree.
That being said, I like a fucking few swear words.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Thank you. Thank you.
We know when to be.
Look, you go to Canada right now. It's 7:18 here in San Diego.
Yeah.
You put the TV on in Vancouver and anywhere in Canada, you'll hear the word shit and goddamn and stuff like that. I think fuck is reserved for like after 10 p.m.
Really?
But it's still there because they're rational people and they realize that pretty much all these words have been heard before. Nobody should be surprised by them. You don't say them in church, but saying them on TV, get that shit out of here. What's the big deal? Who cares about that?
I don't care about it. I'm okay with
it. I got to sit up.
I need to make sure my guest feels comfortable, and if you feel more comfortable letting one loose here or there, then I'm certainly not going to put up hurdles for you to clear.
Thank you.
Right.
I just remember the rules.
By the way, nice watch.
Nice watch?
Yeah. Is that a Rolex?
No, it's a
sure?
it's a MWC military watch company. It's about $190 watch that people on our YouTube channel all the time are. What is that watch? They're calling it out. It looks fantastic.
Yeah. That
it's
bezel,
not an expensive watch.
That bezel looks like a Rolex. I'm not saying that you're lying, but I'm just saying the bezel has a Rolex look to it.
Look, it is
very
not.
Nice. Okay, I believe you. It's very nice. I like.
I didn't even own a watch. I had a watch years ago. Then I didn't wear a watch for years. And one day my wife said, you should get a watch again.
Yeah.
And we were at a friend's store that sold watches. I bought a $190 watch, and I've had it since. Somehow it gets a lot of attention. Gets more attention than I do.
This has been a year of firsts for the show, Sam. Not the least of which has been the creating and then duly unveiling of the Barbecue Central Show Guests Hall of Fame. We took a unique approach in this first class. We did a very wide base of deserving inductees. And then going forward, we're going to tighten it up a little bit. I talked about it a little bit in the first hour. You were picked, I would say, quite unanimously going in under the semi-recurring guest category. So I wanted to give you...
Is it because I swear?
No, it's because you bring the heat in a good way.
That's what I want to hear.
So do you have any kind of special words or acceptance speeches? I'm happy to give you 15 or 20 seconds to lay it all out from beginning to end.
The only person that I would want to thank outside of my wife, honestly, had absolutely fucking nothing to do with me being here.
Yeah, but she's pretty hot.
She's pretty hot. Is you, Mr. Rempe.
Thank you.
My friend that I call a very good friend.
Yeah.
And the audience needs to know, I've said this before, we've never actually met in person.
No, but...
And I'm scared what will happen when we do, because I think it could be a night of absolute excess in every category imaginable. That's what I'm thinking, honestly, and kind of hoping.
I could neither confirm or deny that, so we would have to actually make it happen. So
if I came to your city, I would want to come to your house.
Yeah.
You might say, let's go out. I wouldn't want to go out. I would want to come to your backyard.
Yeah.
And I would want us to cook on everything possible. And how many things are out there?
At least 9 right now.
Well, we could have a lot of fun with 9. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Plus, we could take a dip in the swim spa, have a...
Yeah, absolutely. I'm there.
Have a very good time.
I see one of your neighbors there.
Neighbor Desmond,
Desmond, all the time he's hanging out and having fun with you. I project myself into his spot. So that's me with Greg.
So I'm not a huge Halloween fan, especially being an adult. I mean, you're not going to see me dressing up and going out to parties, things of this nature. I think that's kind of reserved for kids. Quick suggestion, by the way, to people in general. Maybe you want to stop dressing up around 14 or 15, but in order to live in complete hypocrisy, which is what I love to do the most. The best thing to come out of Halloween in 2018, Sam the Cooking Guy dressing up like Paula Deen. But not only dressing up like Paula Deen, putting together a whole freaking video as the now disgraced Food Network star. By the way, if you were often wondering, what does that look like? Well, there's Sam the Cooking Guy right there. Butter poached steak and potatoes, which sounds absolutely great. Now, just in case you forgot, that's what Sam looks like real up close and personal.
Love that you did this.
Yeah, now, here's what Paula Deen looks like. Now, wait a second. Let's really get out the pie chart and see how good we did. Here's Sam and Paula Deen together. Oh, my God.
I won. Well, I can't. I mean, I apologize for the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. What I was.
Well,
thinking.
you are a man.
But I do have.
Wow.
Nope, there's nothing the same.
No, I mean, she's got that silvery fox hairdo. I mean, her teeth couldn't be any more varnished white. And
I think I chose a Paula Dean Gregg from a few years back.
Yeah,
when she did have that yellow hair.
You know, I think the attempt is. I mean, who cares how much on the mark you are or aren't? The attempt, to me, is unbelievable, and the fact that you kept that character or that impersonation of her all the way through and then lobbed in that great joke that was bleeped out, which from a humor standpoint, I don't know if anybody appreciates that more than me. Maybe you, but I don't think anybody appreciates that more than me.
We did appreciate that.
So, you know, check it out on YouTube. He does butter poached steak and is that a Hasselback potato that you did?
Was a Hasselback potato, yeah. And by the way, butter poached steak, I tried to be as, butter centric as I could. I didn't know what to do. I have done Paula Dean once before for the TV show, and I did a Canadian centric butter tarts, which are very good. But I wanted like an ass load of butter, and I was trying to think about what would make sense. And I thought, wow, how can you not poach a steak in butter and have it turn out bad? It was pretty good. Use a lot of butter.
I mean, did you?
I don't think. It's certainly not the best steak I've ever had, but it didn't suck. That's for sure.
Yeah, so what were your high level flavor profiles or mouthfeels or anything like that?
There definitely was a butteriness to it. It was softer, gentler. Like me, I'm Canadian. We're gentler, kinder people. And it was a little bit like that, but it wasn't. When
did you move to America?
I gotta make this every week.
When did you come to the States?
30 years ago.
Okay, I mean, let's get over the I'm Canadian bullshit. Okay?
I am
you're
Canadian.
American. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I have not taken the oath yet. So
are you a citizen of the Americas?
I am not.
You're a Canadian citizen. You haven't naturalized.
Alien.
You are.
Yeah,
you better watch out.
Card.
You better watch out.
Hey, stop it! I can't stop the buzzer. I can't leave the country for more than 6 months at a time, or I'll be considered null and void and have to be sent back to eat nothing but poutine and butter tarts and the Nanaimo bars for the rest of my life.
Did I send you the booze teen video that my Canadian friend Jason King did?
No, you need to send it to me.
Do you know booze teen? Did we go over this?
I don't know what that is.
All right, so I mean, obviously you know what poutine is because that's like a Canadian staple aside from wearing denim. And I said, hey.
Canadian tuxedo, they call it, by the way.
Right. I said.
Denim shirt, denim pants.
We got on the subject of poutine like a couple weeks in a row. One of the guys that I have on semi-regularly, the guy from anotherpintplease.com, did a crab poutine or lobster poutine.
Yeah,
it was very over the top. And then I think I had Ted Reeder on the following week. We talked about poutine there in a classic style. And somehow or another, we came up with how could you incorporate liquor into poutine? And
poutine.
And so my guy, Jason King, Barbecue Food for You, said, I'm going to do this thing called Booze Teen. I'll think it up. I'll shoot this video specifically for you. And then I think I actually challenged the audience. I said, if you can do something and you put it on video, I will play it to lead a show. And that's exactly what happened. And while he was making his gravy, and it was all done over live fire, he dumped like one of those little pocket flasks full of vodka into the gravy, thickened it up, and then, poured it all over the homemade fries and the bacon cheese curds. Yeah, Booze Teen. How about that?
I'm digging it.
Yeah, I'll send you the video. It's absolutely fun.
I'd love to see it. Yeah.
All right, a quick update on Not Tacos. Where are we right now? We're how old are we in business?
We've been in business, I don't know, 4 months?
Wow. So a whole quarter of business.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Business is great. Everybody's happy. Our partners are happy. We're working hard. Employees are difficult. Hard to get people.
The worst. Nobody wants to work, right?
No, you're right.
Let me ask you a question. If you we're paying like what's the going rate for a like a line cooker, like somebody fairly important, but they're turning over still? Is it $10 an hour? Is it $11 an hour?
No, we're 14 plus.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, if you paid $25 an hour, would that keep, or would you still have trouble? Not saying that that's obviously an answer, but I'm just wondering where it would stop.
But it would impact everything.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's $12 more an hour.
How do you do that? You can't do that. You know, and so you've got the, I don't feel like working today, so I call in sick. You got to deal with that. You've got the, I want a second job and to make more money.
Yep.
But they're going to want a certain amount of hours, so I'm going to get more hours between these two jobs, but it means I've got to take away from my not time. So it's that kind of, it's frustrating.
Is it a constant hire machine then there? Because you always want to have somebody ready to come out of the bullpen?
Yeah. You need a lot of pokers in the, what's that expression I used years ago? If you have a lot of pokers in the fire, then at least a couple of them are going to get hot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you hope.
Does it mess with team chemistry, though? If you're constantly changing it over, do you never feel like you hit a great rhythm? Or
no,
does it
you
not
know
matter?
what messes with team chemistry is a difficult employee. Is an employee that, like my dad taught me years ago when he had a welding and industrial supply business. It's clearly not the most romantic business there is. But when somebody would come up to him and say, "Hey, Mr. Zion, I've loved working here, but I'm going to give you my 2 weeks notice." He'd say, "Al, that's great, Alan. Really appreciate that. Tell you what, I'll pay you for your 2 weeks. I want you to leave right now."
Yeah.
Because he knows the second somebody makes up their mind, before they make up their mind, they're already going to have a foot out the door and they're going to start not being a positive addition to the business.
Sure.
And when somebody's going to leave, all they're going to do is this. Kind of glad I'm getting out of here. The old man was an asshole to me, or I'm going to make $3 more an hour, or I get a car, or I get a car allowance, or they got better benefits. And it just poisons everything else. You can't have that. They're no good. Once they've made that call, they're no good. You got to get rid of them.
Sam, the cooking guy, joining me. Email from John Dawson with the subject line saying, "Sam, Remps, I find it interesting that an Emmy award-winning TV guy comes out of the gate with 'Can we swear?' Learn how to express yourself without a verbal crutch." What do you think about that, Sam?
What was that guy's name?
John from Boise, Idaho.
Hey, John, thank you. You fucking little piece of shit. Go back into your hole and talk to somebody who gives a fuck.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Is that good?
I like it. You came off very angry.
By the way, I'm only kidding. I'm smiling as I'm saying that. I'm only kidding. Right.
You tried really hard for about 6 seconds to hold it in. I was like, whoa, he's hot. No, he's not. So, I mean, all in all, are you still at the shop the same amount as you were?
Love it. Yeah. This past week, we've been trying to get ahead on YouTube, and we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Our YouTube has really grown super significantly this past year, and we're trying to stay on top of what the subscribers and the viewers want, and it's taking a lot of our attention. But it's not keeping me away from the shop. I'm down there. It's fun to be there. I love being there. Kelly and I were there on the weekend, and people, it's a great thing. I love being there, but I still have other stuff I have to do. So it's,
let's see. Where do I want to go? Hold on.
Answer. Okay, go ahead.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Usually I would say this for the end of an interview, but I have a feeling we're going to be talking a lot about Thanksgiving here outside of the break. So let's do it now. Do you want to do lightning round? Yes, you do.
Oh, I've been dying to be asked to do that.
Of course you want to do lightning round. All right, stand by.
Of course I do. I'm so jealous when I heard Pat LaFrida do it last week.
That's right. Okay, here we go. Lightning round. Flay or brown?
Wait, what was it? Huh?
Flay or brown?
I know what you're saying. Flay, like Flay?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I get it.
Hello.
Sorry. Flay.
Okay. Lump or briquette?
Lump.
Reverse sear or normal sear?
No, reverse sear. No question. No question. And anybody that thinks that's not the right answer, Go do it again.
Yes or no? Searing seals in the juices.
I think that's probably BS. I think searing gives you gorgeous color and crust and texture. That's it.
Let it rest or let's eat?
No, definitely let it rest a little bit. You don't have to go crazy, but
pellet or offset?
Well, I only have pellets, so I'm going with that.
Spatchcock or beer can chicken?
No, spatch. It's way more impressive.
Sweet or savory?
And cooks evenly. It's perfect. Sorry.
Sweet or savory?
Savory always. Not even a question.
Open pit or sweet baby race?
Open pit.
Oh my God.
I said that.
Hey, Sam's on crack tonight, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Went crazy on the poor guy.
Sazerac or old fashioned?
Oh, old fashioned.
Booker's or Blanton's?
Oh, Booker's.
25-year-old Pappy Van Winkle, life-changing or bank-changing?
Both.
All right, there you go. That's the lightning round with Sam the Cooking Guy.
By the way, the only way to answer those questions, I might add.
Yeah?
And anybody that differs
is wrong.
I will fight. I will fight.
If I see you on the street, I will fight you. All right.
I will fight you.
Sam's going to hang out, and we are going to get into some turkey talk here in just a second. That's the lightning round, everybody. All right, stick around. We'll be right back. I'm going to talk to you quickly about Traeger grills. That was a pretty hard segue there. It's just me. I mean, I tried. Behind every great meal is a great grill. But not just any grill, a Traeger grill, and the Timberline is Traeger's most advanced grill yet. It allows you to grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, and barbecue like a pro, no matter what your level, thanks to the incredible wood-fired taste. Seriously, you don't know flavor till you're cooking with it. Traeger grills use all-natural hardwood pellets as fuel, so you're literally cooking with flavor. From low and slow smoked ribs to a seared steak, even a baked apple pie, Traegers can handle it all, and the Traeger Timberline makes it even easier thanks to the Wi-Fi capability. You can check on cooks, kick up temperatures, set custom cook cycles anytime, anywhere, all right through the Traeger Grills phone app. Find one at your local Traeger dealer or check them out online at TraegerGrills.com. If you want to beef up that barbecue game of yours, Traeger shop classes are going coast to coast, bringing barbecue knowledge and amazing wood-fired food everywhere they go. Taught by professional pit masters, you'll take home all the skills you need to reach barbecue glory. Find a shop class near you by going to TraegerGrills.com/shopclass. That's TraegerGrills.com/shopclass. We are back with Sam the Cooking Guy and talk turkey right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Along with Sam Zion, I am Greg Rempe, and you are listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Sam, I don't know if you realized it or not, but a week from Thursday, Thanksgiving is here, and it seems like it's an annual visit for us. I don't know if we time it out on purpose or not, but we've done a number of shows leading up to Thanksgiving. I think I remember the first time we had talked to you, we're either just done or we're going to do a Thanksgiving hotline. You sat next to Big Mista, who moved to Oregon, if you can believe it. Big Mista said, see you later.
He had enough of me that day, and he said, I'm out of here.
He put in plans at that point to get to Oregon, of all different places.
That was fun. Yeah.
Have you made a conscious effort, Sam, in 2018 to eat more turkey in general?
I have.
Really?
But I haven't. Yes. I said last Thanksgiving, I want to eat more turkey. I don't know why it's a once-a-year thing. It's a delicious bird. I like it. I'm going to have more. And I have not.
I'm going to go make a couple predictions. I'm going to make one prediction. I'm going to say one thing first before I get to the prognostication. I thought when Texas barbecue, and it's still at the height of popularity, but there's a lot of Texas barbecue places that have turkey on the menu. To that point, there's a lot of great barbecue places across the country that have turkey on the menu, and I thought when Texas really started to hit and ramp up, and then all the other places across the country started gaining more and more popularity, seeing turkey on the menu, that would have sparked some type of a more consuming American public of turkey, but it didn't really seem to happen. The other thing that I note is this. What's the saying? Out of sight, out of mind. Right now, if you go to a grocery store or any type of meat purveyor, there are ass loads of turkey all over the place. Frozen ones by the hundreds, you name it.
No fresh.
No, well, there was I don't want to get into fresh and frozen turkeys because we did that in the first hour with Meathead. I learned a whole bunch of things that shook the very foundations of my buildings. But you see them all over the place. Frozen turkeys, right? Varying sizes all over the place in grocery markets right now. The minute that Thanksgiving is over, they're gone. And you don't just see turkey laying around like you do now. So even though you say last Thanksgiving, you know what, this year I'm going to eat more turkey. You don't see it, right?
Good luck.
Right.
Good luck. That's the problem. I used to shoot stuff for Bed Bath & Beyond, and we used to shoot, of course, Thanksgiving turkey stuff. Right. And I would have to shoot that stuff in August to finish it, get it to them, and then they get it on the books and the whatever they have to do. It takes forever. It's a huge company. You try and find a turkey in fucking August, bro. Yeah, it is not easy. I remember going to 3 stores, and the third one had a choice of 2 turkeys. And one was like the biggest ass thing you've ever seen in your life, and the other one was tiny. That was it. You just can't find them. For our YouTube channel that will air on Monday, we're doing brining, roasting, and carving a turkey. Mm-hmm. I needed a turkey yesterday because we shot we'll shoot it all tomorrow, but today we shot the brining part. And by the way, I chose dry brining because it's easier, not a hassle. But it was not easy finding it. I couldn't find a fresh turkey. Can't find a fresh turkey till they were saying Thursday or Friday of this week, which is going to be too late for me.
Well,
at most places.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. As you find time tomorrow, go back and listen to the first hour and listen to Meathead talk about fresh turkeys. And your mouth might become agape to a certain degree, and your very building foundations might shake and crumble as well.
No kidding. Yeah, look, I usually listen the next day to this, so I can't. But you're scaring me.
Yes,
I'm feeling better about having to find a frozen turkey. Is that still okay?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I would say not only okay, wildly encouraged by Meathead.
No kidding.
Yes. You'll find out why later. I'm trying to make sure that you listen to the first hour tomorrow, so I'm not going to give up the ghost. All right. So what are you suggesting for Thanksgiving this year? Is it just the normal turkey? Look, are you going outside of the box? What's the deal?
No, look, I mean, I say find, you want to find an organic. I would have said 5 minutes ago, you want to find a beautiful, organic, fresh, hormone-free, whatever, all that stuff. But I have to say, when I find a frozen butterball and I cook it properly, I brine it properly, I cook it properly, I make a good gravy, all that stuff, I'm happy as a pig in shit.
Yeah.
I don't know that I need to be going to this extra effort to find something that's been, patted on the head twice every night and shown pictures of lovely sunsets and music play too and roaming free in the whatever with naked nymphs playing ukuleles and running through the pasture. I don't think that's just necessary. So what is important are a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I believe brining is very important.
Dry brining.
Look, I've been a wet brining fan, but I'm now switching to dry brining because the only thing that really matters in the brining process is the salt.
Right.
That's it. The salt is the magic. And whether you wet or dry brine, the result is virtually the same thing, except dry brining is easy, quick, and clean. Wet brining, you've got that freaking bag. You got to put You got to boil a bunch of water and put the salt in so it dissolves and the sugar, and then you're putting whatever, anise and rosemary and all that crap and citrus and stuff in, and then you got to cool it, and the ice goes in, and getting it in the bag, and then the turkey in the bag, and then the shit busts in your fridge. It's a pain in the ass. I have a turkey right now in my outside fridge, 12 pounds, nothing but kosher salt. That's it. Went this afternoon. Tomorrow I will cook it. Won't take the salt off. The salt will do everything it's supposed to be. I might add a little oil or butter to the outside, and that's it.
No injection or anything like that on top?
No injection. No, stop.
What do you like to cook at? This is going to be an oven, or are you going to do something else?
No. We took a poll on YouTube. What did people want to see?
All right.
And they wanted to see a traditional oven roasted turkey. Look, I've smoked turkeys.
Yep.
I think they're delicious.
Delicious.
I've deep fried turkeys. I think they're delicious.
Delicious.
But nothing sets the tone, the mood, the pace inside of a house like a cooking turkey. You get the residual shit in the bottom of the pan for the best pan gravy ever. You don't get with deep fried. You don't get with smoked.
Could I make an assertion that
yes, go ahead.
Thanksgiving, I will make an assertion that Thanksgiving might be the most still traditional holiday, and it comes right down to people, even this day and age, with all the different cooking vessels and methods and things that are available to you today. Nothing is more available to anybody than it is present day.
Go ahead.
They still want oven roasted turkey.
They do.
More traditional than Christmas, more traditional than Easter, you name your holiday. But when it comes to Thanksgiving, yeah, that guy.
Fucking Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell, right, with the big thing. And
which, by the way, I don't know what year that was. We could probably look it up.
I happen to know for a fact it was 1937.
Okay, I was going to say the 30s. Okay.
You know what? I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
I would have said it looked like that to me. I'll tell you something.
Yes.
Here's what's messed up. See, I almost said fucked up, and now I'm.
You just
now
said it.
I always second guess myself. God. Here's what's fucked up about that. Number one, everybody at the table is pure white.
Yes.
That is not my Thanksgiving.
Right.
It's not a lot of people's Thanksgiving. Everybody at the table is smiling.
Yes.
Again, not my Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Unless, they're smiling and they've got a knife behind their back that you can't see. People are pissed. People are hungry. They want to eat. They don't want to eat. They've had too much to drink. Whatever. Nobody looks like that. And the turkey is never as effing perfect as it was in Norman Rockwell's picture. I'm sorry, but the breasts on my turkey, the wingtips, because I sometimes forget to cover them up.
Yeah.
They get dark spots. The whole thing. All I know is my favorite holiday, my favorite food holiday of the year. I love it.
Do you love the day, or do you love the day or days after? Because now you can get loose with that Sam Zion creativity. Stuffing balls, fried mashed potato balls, blah, blah, blah.
No, I love the day.
All right.
For me, it's about the day. I love people coming in and out. I love cocktails at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I love having to make the potatoes, the this, the that. The turkey's going in the oven. There's all the anxiety because everybody's got that Norman Rockwell picture in their head of the perfect looking turkey. And the only perfect looking turkeys are on the cover of Bon Appetit or Martha Stewart magazine, whatever that is, or the Oprah mag, whatever.
Norman Rockwell.
Please, everybody knows that shit ain't real.
Yeah.
That stuff's color corrected, and they're using
Food stylists.
soy sauce to baste on the turkey, so it gets that even brown color. Which, by the way, wouldn't be a terrible thing to do. Just add a sort of a umami layer of flavor to the whole thing. And now, as I say that, I'm giving myself an idea for this year.
Norman Rockwell, originally created 1942, published 1943.
Okay,
that is fact check, not fake news.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
So
if
we
were both close. If you're guessing the 30s, and my guess in the 30s, right? Yeah, thanks.
If you're going to be the guy hosting the party, people are coming over to your house. We talk about it every year, but tips for not losing yourself in your own party, because A, it's easy to do because you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and at the end you hate your life, and you're like, I'm never going to do this again.
You feel like you got to turn out the Norman Rockwell picture.
Yes, there's a lot of pressure.
So the way to do this is do as much in advance as you can. Make a pie, buy a pie, 2-3 days in advance, it's going to be fine. Make the stuffing the day before. Make the mashed potatoes the day before. Certain things you can't do. You want to serve a big, gorgeous platter of roasted vegetables and stuff like that, that you kind of have to do last-ish minute. But the stuffing you can do, the gravy you can't do if you're roasting a turkey until it comes out. But once you pull the turkey out of the oven, you've got a solid half an hour before you even need to think about carving it. And it's a lot of time to make gravy with no pressure. If you've already made the mashed potatoes, if the stuffing has already been made the day before and you're just warming it up. And remember this, if you're hosting and you have people coming and people say, can I bring something? You say, yes, you can. But be specific, because if you say, bring some dinner rolls, they might bring some shitty dinner rolls. So you say, I'd love you to bring dinner rolls. And by the way, Johnson's Bakery on 4th has these amazing garlic bread dinner rolls. Could you get those? People are so happy not to have to entertain themselves. They're happy to bring fucking anything.
And they're also happy to not have to think about what they have to get. Lead them down the primrose path, Mrs. Bueller.
No, exactly. Right. That's exactly right. People, they want plug and play. Tell me what, I'm coming over. Tell me what to bring. When you say to people, you've got a Sunday brunch and you got 20 people coming and you say to 5 people, bring a salad, you could end up with 5 Caesar salads or 5, God forbid, 5 pasta salads. Right. Or really, God forbid, 5 pasta salads with those little red, white, and blue or red and blue, whatever, curly Q noodles. That would suck. So you have to say, bring a salad. I told the Johnsons, bring a pasta salad. So could you bring a Caesar salad? Could you bring a spinach salad? Be specific with people. They're so happy to bring because they're not entertaining. They'll do anything you want. Bring wine. We need red. And this is a nice one I had the other day. You might look for that. They don't care. They'll just do it.
Would you...
and drink. Start drinking early. Sorry.
Outside of turkey,
yeah,
is there anything that you would suggest as a favorable alternative?
Yes, I'd smoke a whole fillet. No question.
Whoa, really?
In a heart. Come on. Wow. Who doesn't like a little great beef? Who doesn't? Come on, like your audience.
I know, but I mean,
as long as there's turkey. Look, we're going to San Francisco to our very good friends. We switch off every year. Last year they were here.
Yeah.
This year we're there. Next year they'll be here. We get an email, or we have there's 2 families. We get this big family text. We get a text from the woman of the house a couple weeks ago. How many people like roast beef? And I wrote back and I said, well, all of us do. But it sounds to me like you're trying to get out of turkey. She goes, I am. I go, well, that's just bullshit. But you should have 2 things. I like a second option. And this is, look, clearly it's not a vegetarian's holiday.
Yeah.
Because tofurkey or anything shaped like turkey or pretending to be turkey doesn't cut it. It's just not, this is not your holiday. Easter, you can pull off, look, vegetables, it's spring, there's all kinds of beautiful stuff. That should be a vegetarian's holiday. But Thanksgiving, leave me alone.
Can you go turkey?
And by the way, July 4th as well.
Yeah, can you go turkey and prime rib? Because I'm just not a huge fan of filet. Like, I could give 2 craps about filet anything ever. Like, I would never pick it. I don't buy into it. It's not great. It's tasteless.
Wow, what a dick. Why are you hating on the filet?
Why do you not like the truth?
What did a filet ever do to you?
Lover of lies?
Perhaps you don't know how to cook a filet.
Oh, okay. Hey,
do I need? I need.
No,
I, need
I
to
think
come to,
all
to,
fillets should be taken to 175 degrees, like they
oh,
should.
Stop it! Thrown over a cliff.
I'm not a fillet guy. I hate that. I hate fillets.
Oh.
I think I think the American public has been tricked to thinking that that's the cut that they have to say, when all the while the rib meat is the best meat. Period.
It is the best. I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to give a beef alternative that's a little different. And by the way, my wife is in the other room, and she is not a roast beef fan.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it. In fact, she hates it.
Roast beef or beef in general?
No, loves beef. Loves this good steak. But a ribeye, I'm starting to chisel away at this hard exterior shell.
Yeah.
She's starting to like a ribeye.
Like, she won't eat prime rib?
No. Stop it.
All right, that's Sam the cooking guy, everybody. We got to go.
You can push that button all you want. I'm just telling you.
Really?
You don't want the truth?
I do, but I can't.
I'm
I don't
telling you
believe.
what goes on in the cooking guy household, and that's what happens.
Wow. I mean, you say, like, when I hear the term roast beef, I think of like I'm so taken aback. I'm trying to think now. Like a top round or a London broil. Like, to me, that's roast beef. But prime rib is like way different. Yeah, like prime rib is like a way different world.
Hey.
I'm preaching to the choir right now.
Easy now. Let me tell you something. I can tell you the last time I made a prime rib. It was never. Because it doesn't get me pleasure.
Wow. Like,
it's like
even the boys?
Like me bringing home, it's like me bringing home a 25-year-old stripper going, hun.
Yeah.
Well, look what I brought for us to have fun with.
Yeah.
She's not having any of that.
No.
She's not having any roast beef.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm just dealing with the dynamics within my own household.
Yeah, I get it. Thanksgiving Day cocktails. Anything special?
I do like a cranberry margarita.
Okay. Like, do you get specific with the cranberry? Like, does it?
No. So I add a little cranberry juice to the tequila.
Yep.
And the roses, lime juice, and the sweet and sour. Little splash of cranberry.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take a couple of cranberries.
Yes.
They go in the bottom of the glass, muddle them up a bit. It's delicious. It's got a nice color. It's delicious. I had a pomegranate mule the other day.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy good. Crazy good.
Monday.
Muddled seeds. Yep.
Monday's going to be the turkey cook video on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Brining, roasting, carving.
Carving, right.
And carving is... look, I'm the guy that I do the whole. I remove the entire breast on both sides.
Totally.
You do that?
Of course.
And if people don't know that, you should look it up. You watch the video on Monday on our YouTube channel when it comes out. Sam the Cooking Guy. But it's I believe it's the best way to treat the breast. And I am a guy.
Yep.
I believe in treating breasts with respect.
Of course.
I think that's the way to do. It's not what Norman Rockwell would do. He would do this thing, you know?
Yep.
Slice. So the very first piece got all the skin, and that would go to, I guess, your favorite person in the table.
Right. Me.
And then the rest would get whatever. You take the whole breast off, you carve it. It's fantastic.
You can find Sam the Cooking Guy on YouTube, The Cooking Guy. Also, thecookingguy.com is his main website, and you can find him here on the show from time to time. He is a Barbecue Central Show Guest Hall of Fame inductee in the inaugural class, so I appreciate you taking that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I feel like the term inductee implies I have not been inducted yet. Is that what that means? And there will be a ceremony? Are you telling me?
Sure, there could be.
Is this your way of telling me I'm coming to Cleveland to sit there behind the wood-paneled wall behind you?
Right.
To accept my he goes like this. To accept my award.
Yes,
that
maybe.
Happen?
That could be. I don't want to ruin any big surprises, but that just might be it.
We'll go to Michael Simon's restaurant.
Yes.
Together.
Mabel's.
Where else? We'll go to Mabel's.
And then we'll go right down.
Everything in your backyard.
Yep. Right. That's right. It's going to be great.
Coming out, dude.
There it is. In the meantime, it is Sam the Cooking Guy. Sam, I wish you and yours a great Thanksgiving. Travel safe. And
same, my friend.
We will talk again soon.
I imagine we'll be texting over the next week or so. I always do.
As always. All right. Thanks, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
There he is, Sam the Cooking Guy. Right there. As always, bringing it strong. It is Sam Zion, Sam the Cooking Guy.
All guests appear via the Traeger Grills hotline.
Make sure I stop that from going over and get in this quick read, and then we'll go ahead and end the show. A little over, but that's all right. Always worth the conversation with Sam. Attention, folks in the business of barbecue. Established in 1882, Southside Market and Barbecue is the oldest barbecue joint in Texas. They've been owned and operated by the same family for 3 generations. They offer premium Central Texas barbecue products, slow smoked over real wood, shipping, distributing, manufacturing sausages for companies across the U.S. From food trucks to multi-chain restaurants, Southside Sausage can be on your menu too. All meats are processed in the on-site USDA-inspected facility, a trusted partner with a focus on quality and authenticity. Wholesale options available, shipping nationwide via FedEx or food service distribution via Sysco, U.S. Foods, and Martin Foods. Co-packaging capable from research and development to package completion. They can follow your recipe or help you develop something brand new. How about this? Private labeling also available. Now you can add a Southside product with your name and logo right to your food truck or restaurant. Visit SouthsideMarket.com for more information while you're at that destination online, SouthsideMarket.com. Start ordering things, and then at the end, at checkout, when it asks you for a coupon code, use code BBQ Central, all one word, lowercase. That's BBQ Central. You get 10% off all of your online orders. Again, that's code BBQ Central when you visit SouthsideMarket.com. All right, let's wrap it up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This is Jim Minion from Two Loose Screws. I'm listening to Barbecue Central.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
This segment brought to you by Fireboard. Monitor up to 6 different temperatures simultaneously. Connect to Wi-Fi for cloud-based monitoring, or connect via Bluetooth. And if you have Alexa or the Google Assistant in your home, you're in luck because Fireboard is fully integrated with both. You can find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. That's 816-945-2232. Thanks again to Sam, the Cooking Guy, for joining me last segment and the segment before that. All the way back in the first hour, we chatted it up with Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. If you have any questions about the turkey stuff that we talked about, head on over to AmazingRibs.com, search turkey, search gravy, search stuffin' muffin, all that available at AmazingRibs.com's website. And then, as I had just got done speaking with Sam the Cooking Guy in for the second hour, thecookingguy.com is a website that has all the links where you need to go and find him in other places on the internet landscape. And thanks again to both gentlemen for joining me tonight talking turkey. We will have more of a turkey-focused last-second show coming up next week, so stay tuned for that. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. By the way, if you're going to be in the general Cleveland area tomorrow and you want to show up to my daughter's National Letter of Intent signing day at Villa Angela St. Joseph's High School in Cleveland, Ohio, feel free to show up. It's going down at 3:15. Bobby, congratulations. Making it official. Committed going into her junior year, but signing the official documentation now that she has met that requirement in her senior year. So everything's going to be contractual. Again, September 11th, 2001. I will never forget until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe, saying good night now.